fractions with unlike denominators by finding equivalent fractions. So the new skill is here. Students will be able to add fractions with unlike denominators. And our prior knowledge, meaning your students should already know how to do this, by finding equivalent fractions. It gives the what, it gives the how, okay? The reason that you want to activate prior knowledge in your objective sometimes is to give the students a bit of confidence. Coming in, they see that objective on the board. Best case scenario, they're like, oh, I know how to do that. We did that last week. More realistically, they're like, I know some of these words, and we'll take both. Either way, if they know some of these words, that's a little bit of confidence. If they already know it and they're ready to do it, then that's outstanding. Next up, we have, that's okay.
Sorry.
We have real world example by new skill. And this one says, students will be able to double a cookie recipe by adding fractions with unlike denominators. So here, we switched it, we put our new skill kind of at the bottom, and we took a real world example at the top. I think this one is great if you've noticed that your instruction has become kind of cyclical. We take notes, we do a group activity, they do an exit ticket, they leave. If you're kind of running into that cycle over and over and over again, try a real world objective when you're shaping your lesson. You'll find that automatically you're becoming more creative when you start to pace and figure out what your activity is gonna look like. Because here, you know, I taught 4th grade, I would come with the chef's hat and maybe Play-Doh for them to make fake cookies, or maybe even a few Oreos, you know, if they do what they're supposed to do. So it kind of just gets your creative juices flowing if you ever feel yourself getting into an instructional rut. Any questions? Sorry, guys, I go a little bit fast. If you have any questions, just shoot your hand up or yelling at me, no worries. Okay, next we have unit goal by skill. That's okay, I have that one memorized. No worries. Unit goal by skill. This one is extremely helpful if you have to create your own unit plan. Social studies teachers, if you're teaching writing, science teachers, I know that you guys have a pacing guide, but you don't have everything that some of the other content teachers have. And so sometimes you find yourself writing your own unit. So for this one, we have students will be able to demonstrate their understanding of parts of a whole. That is our unit language. That is the part of the objective, that we can borrow tomorrow and a little bit next week until our unit is complete. Now, if you're going to use this tactic, you want it to be very mindful. You want to really explain the objective every time it's in front of the students and show them how it's all connected. This objective shows how you make a cohesive lesson, and it lets the students know that, oh, just because I did this tiny part of this objective or this unit the other day, that doesn't mean I know everything about parts of a whole. So every time I see that unit language, I know that I'm learning something new that still falls under that same umbrella. And then of course we have our new skill at the bottom. And finally, we have new skill by condition. And this is one of my favorite ones for ELA, honestly, even though I used it with a math example. Students will be able to add fractions with unlike denominators by using 1/2, 1/4, and 1/8 manipulatives to assist them. So essentially, we use manipulatives, we provide rubrics, we provide guides and all sorts of things for our students, but we rarely include those things in the objective language. But we want our students to understand that there are resources to help them. That's part of being an effective young adult, right? Knowing how to use your resources. So sometimes we can include our condition, what we provide to assist them, or the environment in which they will complete the task as part of the objective. It's very creative. I think it will impress your admin if they see this kind of objective every now and then, and it lets your students know that there are resources available to them. Any questions? No? Okay. Great, because we're gonna give it a try. So in the handout that Mr. Walker gave you, there is activity 1, and I'm gonna have you guys write 2 objectives, and I'm gonna give you some vague ideas in just a moment, but you're going to pick one formula that speaks to you. You love it, you probably use it all the time, or you use a piece of it all the time, and then you're gonna use one formula that you're like, I've never thought about it that way. I want you to try one that you're comfortable with, and one that kind of takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, okay? And if you're struggling to come up with a topic, for ELA, you can use theme, you can use fractions, climate, the Civil War, or you can come up with a topic of your own. Don't panic, don't try to take it too seriously. Just imagine that you're teaching whatever grade you're most comfortable with, whatever topic you're most comfortable with, and give me 2 objectives with the same topic using 2 different formulas. I'll say that one more time. 2 objectives with the same topic using 2 different formulas. One that you love, one that you're like, okay. And I'll give us 3 minutes to do that. I'll be walking around if you need any help. You can get started now.